Hi guys, I'm going to try to keep this short, but I know it's going to be difficult for me to do that. I am so excited. Just received the Iwata HPCH airbrush in the mail today. First impressions, a little bit disappointed. I got to be honest with you, a little bit disappointed. I thought I was going to be receiving an injection molded, hard case for this. It wasn't. It's cardboard. A little bit disappointed. Not incredibly so, but enough for me to kind of go, kind of wanted a piece of equipment that I could store and not worry about not necessarily being damaged, but if it was in transport or anything, I'm not so confident with this box. I thought for what I paid for it, I should have got a better carrier. That's all. But made up for it. There's this cool little bumper sticker that comes with it. Nice way to decorate your area. I'm okay with it. Instructions, pretty much useless. Very, very basic. If you're going to be purchasing a piece of equipment, as high-end as this, you pretty much know what you're doing. You don't really need instructions. Just looking at it, globs of chrome. Globs of chrome on it. It's got some good heft. It's certainly not a piece of plastic. This is a professional tool. This is a superior piece of equipment. It feels good. This fin, if you will, trying to get my hands out of it so you can see this fin right here, I think adds a lot to how you're going to hold the piece. It's super comfortable. The weight, it feels very balanced to me. I am certainly not a professional. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But I felt like I have outgrown my Neo, which is also from Iwata. I felt like I have outgrown this. I thought I could do more with a more professional gun than what I can do with this. I feel I'm at that level where I can start maybe impressing myself a little bit more. That being said, a couple of very distinct features, which is the reason for the purchase of the gun. We have the MAC valve in the front and the trigger stop in the back. Let's start with the trigger stop. Very interesting feature. What this allows you to do is control your pressure going backwards, which is going to throw the paint. So instead of so much muscle memory on every stroke, say you're doing an eyebrow or wisps of hair off a portrait, instead of having so much trigger control, you can now adjust how far the trigger is going to go back. Also something like, even if you were just doing something simple like fishing lures, not that they're simple, but you understand what I'm saying. You can control the amount of flow that's coming out of the gun with this trigger stop. You can stop it halfway. You can really fine tune in exactly what you're spraying. The MAC valve, again, superior adjustment. This will allow the airflow that's coming out. I can tune it way down, or I can bring it back up to the level of my compressor. Now, my compressors also have controls on them that will, again, push more air or bring it back. So with this and the controls on my compressor, I can really fine-tune what I'm going to be doing. As far as fine-tuning, the trigger is knurled and has a raise in the very back of it. If you've ever watched the real pros, there's usually They will modify the trigger of the guns for their finger to get more control on what they're pulling on, so they feel it better. This has a raised edge on it that feels really comfortable. Completely different from the Neo, completely different from any other gun I've felt before. It just feels like you get a ton of control on it. Love it, love it. The cup, I believe, is 9mm. It's just a friction fit cap on it. Come on, baby. Which I like, because there are applications where I do turn the gun upside down, getting the belly of, a fish and lure or something like that. Or if there's, some form of a structure that I might be putting some detail onto, a birdhouse, or could be anything, that I try not to go upside down for obvious reasons. But I do like the idea of the cap. The crown, it's everything on this gun is machined. It's so silky smooth. The machining is just outstanding. As far as everywhere that your fingers are going to be has a texture to it. It's knurled. The knobs on the back, it's just absolutely silky smooth. Taking the gun apart. Silky, silky smooth. Very impressive. There's no glitches when you're pulling stuff off. It's just, everything is just very well machined, well made. There's no, it's almost frictionless. It truly is. It's just a beautiful piece of equipment. One of the things I do want to point out is, a lot of the times, if I know I'm going to be spraying for a long time, I do remove the back for tip dry, because I like to loosen that and adjust the needle and get it back together. This does have a function where you can pull back a little bit and get things kind of squared away. But I still like to paint without the back on. I know I'm going to be painting for an extensive amount of time. Even with the weight of the tail off, it still does not feel top heavy or clunky. It still feels very comfortable in a hand. I've used this gun before. It's always been borrowed. I finally purchased one, and I'm just, every time I hold it in my hand, I'm just super impressed. I'm a guy who likes nice tools. I like professional equipment when I'm going to be working on something, and this certainly is. Can't say enough about it. I've worked with these guns for a number of hours, doing all sorts of different things, from, again, fishing lures to portraits or painting fire, and they've always it's always performed extremely well. And like I said, the comfort of it is what I was really searching for, and I've held a number of different airbrushes, and this by far is the one that I was going to spend my money on, and I'm certainly pleased that I did. Like I said before, just globs of chrome on it, and that's not just for looks. That's going to keep the gun clean. It's going to make it easy to clean if you do have some spill or some overspray, things like that. It's silky smooth. It breaks down easy. It's basically just it's what you want to buy. It's where you want to go. In my opinion, in my humble opinion. Can't wait to do some test drives with this one. I'm hoping it works as well as the other ones that I've used, and I will keep you updated on that. There will be a follow-up video as far as what I'm doing with it, and I might even do some filming of some practice pieces on it, so you can see what the gun does and how it follows. But even just as I just tightened that, it just landed dead on nuts on the nut control here. it's just superior to what I've seen and used. And like I said, it's silky smooth, very comfortable in a hand. You know, the trigger stop is just dialed in. There's no play in the trigger. I don't feel any wobble. I don't feel any friction. It's just, I'm just very impressed. Very impressed. So, along with the package, as long as once I stop gushing, along with the package comes some lubricant. I usually use a 3-in-1, like a multi-purpose oil. Break the gun down, make sure that everything's lubed up and working smoothly. This obviously, right out of the box, is ridiculous. There is the wrench for getting in tight and whatnot. It's just, yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm getting ready and I'm getting excited to use it, and I'll do a follow-up video on that. So, highly recommended. The Neo is too. Don't misunderstand. This is another Iwata. This is the Iwata Neo. Entry level, I don't think you can beat it. I honestly don't. I've done a ton with this airbrush. A ton. But I think I've reached a point where I can go up a notch, and I'm really happy that I went to this direction. I'm super thrilled. Can't wait to do some stuff with it. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. That's what I got.